I don't know if this is working or not, but this will pop up eventually, and you're going to hear the words that are coming out of my mouth, and you're going to know that you missed another score because the stupid computer decided to shut down.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm sorry, y'all. I'm really sorry. We were really trying here. So, Nolan Carson a few moments ago walked another one into the end zone for his second rushing touchdown of the night. So thanks for coming back to the fold with us here.
So Nolan with a touchdown. We missed the extra point, had to kick off. And then the first two plays from scrimmage have been a total of minus 15 yards for Station Camp. So a good start to this one. Let's see if we can keep that up. The Station Camp quarterback has taken a few licks tonight already. And we got a timeout, Station Camp. The play clock running down.
This is making it difficult again. Like we're gonna have to do this every time. I don't know why. All of a sudden. Is this working? I don't know.
Maybe. Yeah, it's working.
Yeah, sure. That's red. Red is a good color, apparently. Hi, guys. Welcome back. I don't know. We got about 3 minutes and 55 seconds before we hit halftime. So let's recap again the recap that we were just trying to do. So, moments ago, Nolan Carson walks one into the end zone. His second scoring touchdown of the night. The kick was no good. Bobcats lead it 13-3 right now.
Lead 13-3. The extra point was no good. We kicked it off. They brought it out to about the 25, 26-yard line, and now they are stuck on their own. Well, it's further back than the 23 for sure. About their own 14. Got him again. The Ridgetop Collision tackle for loss counter is clicking on up this drive. That's 3 tackles for loss this drive. They started on their own 26, and they are back to their own 8-yard line now.
Okay, I think we're back going here again. So thank you, Miss Holloway, and thank you, Scotty, for letting us know what's going on. Scotty, hope you're doing all right. Hope you get better soon. Station Camp gets his punt away.
That's a good one.
That was a real good one, but it's going to roll backwards. Every single one of those have rolled backwards in favor of the Bobcats. So Travarius Flood was standing at the 50. He was ready to roll, but that ball just rolled out at the 50, and then the Bobcats are in great position once again.
Yeah, it was a good bounce for us. It was a great job by the punter because the snap was low, drug the ground. He had to kind of get out of there, and it's a good thing he's a rugby punter because he was running to his right anyway. Gets the punt out of there. We almost blocked it, but works out, and starting on the right side of the 50, literally and figuratively.
I see what you did there.
At our Station Camp 36-yard line. So that's where you want to be starting one. You got 3 minutes, 2 timeouts. Let's go make something happen.
Carson's going to be in the shotgun here. He's going to have Carson Wood to his right, Travarius Flood, Nate Castleman up top to the left, Tyler Adams, your roving wing, tight end, whatever you want to call him. Bad connection on the handoff. Carson fell on it, tried to swallow it up. We're going to see who comes up with it here at the end of this pile. Signaling Bobcats got it. Thank you, White Hat.
Whew, yeah, that was not a good exchange right there. I think one person thought it was a fake and one person thought it was a handoff. So I'm not sure what exactly happened there, but our mesh was not good.
2 minutes and 34 seconds here as the clock continues to tick away. Again, Bobcats lead at 13-3. They're moving left to right here. Second down 11, ball's at the 37 going in. Bobcats getting some personnel switched around. Carson's at the shotgun. Tyler Adams has dropped back to the running back position. He's going to throw some blocks as Carson's dropping back to pass. Feeling some pressure. Good block He steps it up, tosses it across to Nate Castleman. He's got it on the sideline. He's still going. Finally tackled out around about the 30-yard line.
Nate with a little smooth move. He right joysticked him right there.
Hot pursuit. Yeah, that was definitely that hit stick. So he hit it left to juke him a little bit. Then he hit it straight up to stand him straight up. And he kept on going. Got another 2 or 3, 4 yards out of that.
Do they still have a right joystick?
Does
anybody know what we're talking about?
NCAA football has a new video game coming out next year. Hopefully, maybe. Or if you're like us, Kevin, you found a way to update the one you got.
That's right.
Carson's in the gun. Handoff inside goes to Wilbur. He spins. He's still moving, pulling those Derrick Henry moves. As soon as he's hitting that line of scrimmage, he is dipping and ripping that shoulder. And he was dancing around behind Reese Jones. And, Reese, much taller than Dalton, was eclipsing him. He picked up another couple yards there, but eventually the surge stopped it dead. They're going to get it 4th and 1 coming up here from the 27 as the Bobcats take their second time.
Yeah,
I thought that was their third and final time.
It's our second. We had one there toward the beginning, and then Station Camp took one just a moment ago. So Station Camp's got 2. We've got 1 left. 4th and 1, if nothing else right here. I mean, obviously you want to go down and score. We do get the ball back, or we're set to receive the kickoff after halftime. You'd love to score right here, but more than anything, you'd love to get a first down so you just keep the ball and see what you can make happen.
Some region scores of interest that we're being fed. Thank you, Ms. Holloway. Marshall County leads White House 24-7 currently.
That's I think that's probably about where you thought you were going to see that one. Marshall County's a good ball team. And next week, that always turns into a good ball game anyway, but I think we're 2 very evenly matched teams on that front.
1:17 to go. 4th down and 1 for the Bobcats. Carson's in the gun. He's going to keep it himself. He running right. Got a block. Think he picked it up as he stretched across. So we'll wind that frog and move the clock, move the chains. 1:10 to go here in the first half. Bobcats knocking on the door once again.
Little sack set.
Carson dropping back to pass. He's looking left, feels the pressure, rolls left, pumps. He's going to keep it. Hits the corner, hits the angle, going right towards the stick, and just before he hits the stick, he steps it out of bounds to stop the clock with 42.4 left.
That's good heads-up awareness by Nolan. So we saw it earlier where he kind of got he didn't want to pull the trigger on that. He stood back there, and we took just a little bit of a loss. That time, they're covered. Good block on the edge by Wilbur as the man came through, and a good pickup by Nolan there. So that puts you in, gives you 2 things right there. You obviously pick up on that, close in on the first down. Probably puts you in field goal range, too, though, to give Will a shot at one if we need to.
Carson's going to be in the shotgun. He's got 2 wide to the right as they're moving left to right here. 2nd down and 1 for the 14. Dropping back to pass. He's looking right. Feels the pressure. Steps up to the pocket. He takes off himself. Pumps. Still going. He dropped that shoulder, and there he goes. Diving for the bylines. Give him 6, sir. Come on.
Oh, my goodness.
So there he is pointing at the grass because the grass made the tackle. That's what it is.
All I can guess is that there is a large rut in the grass on the sideline.
So with 30 seconds left on the clock here in the first half, it's going to be 1st and goal to go coming up from the 1 for the Bobcats.
I know what play I'm
God, what do you dial up here?
I'm running quarterback draw right
here. Carson's going to
here.
stay in the shotgun. Bunch to the right side, running dead ahead. He's got a pull. He's got a man. He's got a score.
Maybe.
Come on, man.
He's got it.
There we go. My goodness. It shouldn't. These officials, they get such flack, right, from the crowd. All we want is a signal in a timely fashion. 5 seconds later, Bobcats have it, 19-3, and here comes Will White to attempt his extra point. Snap, set, kick is up.
That one,
That was a good one.
Yeah.
Way to go, Will. And it's 20-3.
Will may have put that one on the roof of the school. That was impressive.
He was mad about that one. The first that one he missed moments ago.
It was close.
Golly.
It just barely went
and
wide left.
it's one of those things. He started the season so strong, so hot at Springfield.
Yeah.
Built that confidence and immediately had it taken away from him the next week. Dadgummit, it's been a claw back for him, but he's getting it back tonight, and I love it.
He's paying off right now for sure.
Love it.
So I'm over here talking about, can we get in field goal range? Can we do this? So we're just going to go down and score. My goodness. Nolan making a case for player of the game for sure. 3 touchdowns in the first half is tough to beat. And now what you can't do here is give up something dumb. You need a good kickoff, good coverage.
Kick is away. That was a good kick.
Bounces
out of his hands. Still at the 10. Still going. At the 5, the 10, the return. Carter DeMarcus breaking down and tackling.
There you go. Good job, guys. Good job. It's
Throws
exactly what
his
you
whole
wanted
body
to see.
at it. Cameron Gazzard, I believe, had the final stop on him. In 15.1 seconds. As Station Camp's going to get maybe a couple more cracks at it before we take it to the half.
And this is, well, if you ever wanted to put them in a situation with the way our defense is headhunting, put them in a let's throw one up and have to throw it deep, because they are 4 right now. And Station Camp may change their blocking scheme up and try to get something else going, but I think they're just going to. No.
They hand it off straight ahead. Ooh. I got a little scary there for a second.
Yeah,
they bunched it all in. Bogus, man.
They got in kneel-down formation.
So they pulled a quick one right there. I think Greenbrier is going to have their heads up on this next play. So Bogus, that it was a quick handoff to him after they were in that position. It looked like they were just going to take it in. Got around the left side, got a big first down, and was streaking down the left side of the sideline for a second before he got pushed out of bounds. 5.8 seconds to go. Timeout on the field for Station Camp.
You got to imagine I don't know. I don't know what they dial up here. Every time they've tried to drop back to pass, we've been all over it. So, do we see them maybe try to do something like that again? They're in that same formation again.
We'll say this, Overby had one long pass of about 75 last week, so we know that that's at least his range if he's going to drop it back and chuck one.
Come on, guys, get up here.
24 seconds. They faked it. He's rolling right. He dumps it out. It's going to be too much mustard, and that'll stop the clock with 0.1 seconds left.
Clock stopped before the ball hit the ground.
They're just being generous, Kevin.
Quick on the trigger.
Smokestack, this is a formation that we saw on film this week that was a little bit of heartburn for me.
Yeah,
seeing how they were stacking up and running out of that. But Greenbrier was playing that very well right there. Bobcats playing off easy. Hand it off to the fullback. Just let him trudge ahead a little bit. There's the horn, and we're going to take it to the half. And, folks, this is certainly not where I thought we would be at this point. But, hey, let's jinx it while we're at it. Greenbrier is going to take a lead into the half as we knock on every piece of wood left in this press box. We're going to put 20 minutes on this clock. We're going to run through our pregame stuff one more time. When we come back, we'll recap the first half. Hopefully this computer is going to hold up and not give me any more trouble. And we'll see what happens here on the other side. Folks, thank you for joining us here tonight. You are listening to Greenbrier Football from Gallatin, Tennessee. It's Region 5 4A football. Thank you. We'll be right back. Welcome, everyone, and don't touch that dial because you are locked into the only station you need for Tennessee high school football action. It's a Friday night across the mid-state, and you know what that means. Coming to you tonight from Gallatin, Tennessee, tucked back by the creek of Lower Station Camp and home of the Bison, the Cats are here to herd as we settle in for a big Region 5-4A matchup. Thank you for joining us here tonight. I am your host, Jim Sorrells, alongside my co-host, Kevin Criswell, and we are the voice of the Bobcats, bringing you all that is Greenbrier High School sports and information. Be sure to follow along with us all year long and join the conversation on Twitter, X, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, anything that uses that handle at VoiceOfCatsTN and the hashtag Greenbrier Football. Tonight's broadcast is Briar built and brought to you in part by the Greenbrier Athletic Club, who for over 50 years has supported the Greenbrier Football Bobcats, and of course by you, our fans, friends, and other supporters of Greenbrier just like you. Before we take a dip into these cool waters, let's take a look back and put a bow on the night that was last Friday. In the final game of a 3-game homestand, Greenbrier was taken to task by the Tigers of Marshall County. In a game in which the stat lines sure don't match up with the scoreboard, Greenbrier found themselves again on the wrong end of a 37-0 loss. Bright spots on the night, Nolan Carson, 8 of 14 passing for 122 yards, and Nate Castleman coming up with 5 catches for 77 total yards. Reese Jones controlled the middle for the most part, picking up 4 solo stops on defense. Dalton Wilbur finished with 4 defensive stops and 5 assists, 1 tackle for loss, and the young one, Dre Thomas, picked up 3 stops with 3 assists himself, 1 tackle for loss, and 1 kick blocked. Moving forward, we have a herd of Bison to talk about. Will the Bison find a way to get healthy this week? That was the ultimate question posed by Main Street Preps. Station Camp's starting quarterback was injured in the first half versus Springfield and did not return to the game. It came down to the very last play, but the Yellow Jackets were able to survive a 34-33 win over Station Camp in the MyTV30 Friday Night Rivals game of the week. For context, the Yellow Jackets led 28-13 late in the third quarter before a Station Camp rally fell just short for the Bison, who are now winless at 0-4 through their first 4 games. Blaine Keller from Main Street Preps reported last week that Station Camp's coach shaved his head into a mohawk to, quote, lighten the team's mood and ease tensions that may be mounting after a winless start. Now, injuries and a pair of one-score defeats may have caused the rest of his hair to fall out. After starter, a senior, Luke Dickens, who took a shot to the left side of his face in the first half and did not return, it was freshman Colton Overby and the sophomore Gage Lang that in tandem took over, with Overby playing a majority of the snaps as the game progressed. Overby completed 7 passes on the Bison's final drive, the last of which being a scoring throw to Mason Murray. Overby ended the night accounting for all 3 second-half Bison scores. Took in a 2-yard scamper, completed a big pass to Freston Farley, and that set up a scoring throw to Eric Ginther and had the final time play almost to tie it. Final tally for him on the night, 15 of 27 for 224 yards. Station Camp also scored on a blocked field goal returned by Kelton Crisp. He was an honorable mention for Class 4A preseason on the defensive line, and a 2-yard touchdown from the quarterback Dickens in the first half. All this behind an anchor on the offensive line behind 4A third-teamer Jerron Riddle. An injury-plagued start to the season and has the team now with their starting quarterback as well as their star senior linebacker and Murray State commit Saunders Ellis, a 4A preseason third-teamer himself. He was being reported as being spotted with a walking boot on his right foot during the Springfield game. Both of these 2 kids have played together for a number of years, and the Bison faithful is hopeful they can get back to the field soon. Coming into this season, the first-year coach in Chris Bain retained the majority of the staff that was in place previously, with 13 total returning starters. The continuity is there, he said earlier this season. The schemes are basically the same. Last year, Station Camp finished up at 6-4. All time against the Cats, they lead the series 3-1, with the last win for the Bobcats coming in 2005. We talked about that earlier this week on our Facebook page. Be sure you check that out if you haven't seen it. Station Camp, they opened up in 2002. They've had their share of successes as well as their share of frustrations. Notable frustrations after a series of tornadoes swept through the Middle Tennessee area in spring of 2006. This left the relatively new stadium in a state of disarray come that fall. It was Kevin's senior year, as a matter of fact, that the Knights literally went out in Gallatin. Successes have also come in the way of some exceptional talent that have roamed the halls, including Riley Gaines, a competitive swimmer who was all SEC first team at Kentucky. John Jenkins, the Tennessee Mr. Basketball winner in both his junior and senior years. He was also a member of multiple high school All-America teams and was named Gatorade Player of the Year in 2008. And the 2009 season, his final at Station Camp, he led all high school divisions in the nation in scoring. Jenkins was also a highly recruited basketball player out of high school. He attended Vanderbilt for 3 years. Jenkins entered the NBA draft where he was selected by the Atlanta Hawks. And finally, Josh Malone. He was the subject of an ESPN high school football broadcast as he played opposite of Jalen Hurd at Beach on national television. Josh was a 2014 U.S. Army All-American before playing at the University of Tennessee and eventual stints in the NFL and most recently the XFL. Folks, you've been listening to pregame coverage here on VOTC Live. Thank you for joining us here early. Still have plenty more action coming your way, so stay tuned.
We are inching closer and closer to kickoff here, and it sure seems like it's going to be a beautiful night, but we're going to find out for sure. It's time to talk to Tom as we send it down to Orlando, Florida, and the WKMG News 6 Weather Studios, and Tom Sorrells for your official Friday football forecast.
All right. It is Friday night in Middle Tennessee, football time on the road to Station Camp. Hello, everyone. It's me, Tom Sorrells, Chief Meteorologist at WKMG News 6 in Orlando, Florida. Tonight, we're on the road to Station Camp. I so wish I were there, but I'm not. I'm in New York City for a little vacay. Your weather is going to be spectacular. Kickoff time, the sun is down. We're at 73 degrees. By 8 o'clock, about 69. And come the 9 o'clock hour for the Bobcat Victory Dance, our temperature is 68. The wind is light and variable. Have a great game, gang. I will see you soon. Go Cats, go.
Work at the polls this week as Main Street Preps refers to a seismic shift in the way things have shaken out. Lipscomb Academy now at 1-3 briefly led the defending state champion Baylor in the first half, but once the Mustangs fell behind, they never quite caught up and eventually 34-31 loss. Montgomery Bell Academy at 0-4 continued their early season slide as well, while Pearl Cone debuted its artificial turf playing surface last Friday. They rolled to a 41-14 win over Pure Academy. The Firebirds at 4-0 now own the top spot in this week's ranking. This top five for Middle Tennessee. Number 1 overall, Pearl Cone. Number 2, Father Ryan. Number 3, Brentwood. Number 4, CPA. Number 5, Oakland. And just outside, number 6, Lipscomb Academy. The Tennessean Super 25. Remember, this is statewide regardless of classification. Baylor comes in at number 1 overall with McAllen, Oakland, Pearl Cone, Alcoa, and Lipscomb bringing out the top 6. Fun facts about week 4. We talked about Livingston last week. Their road trip was successful as they played 8 quarters of football in a 24-hour period. That's got to be some sort of first. They split. Independence defeated Franklin 31-24 in double overtime last Friday. They've now played 6 overtime periods in the last 3 weeks. Looking over at the AP polls, these are voted on statewide. Class 6A saw Bradley Central hold on to the top spot with 10 first-place votes. Oakland picked up 7 votes to finish in second, with Brentwood, Germantown, and Mount Juliet rounding out the top 5. Green Hill still feeling disrespected as Cleveland makes their debut as well. Class 5A unchanged at the top, with Knoxville West taking in all 18 first-place votes to stay at number 1. Henry County at number 2. Centennial jumps up a couple spots to number 3, while Nolensville drops down to number 4. Oak Ridge rounds out that top 5. Below us in Class 3A, Alcoa, once again the team to beat, grabbing all 18 first-place votes to remain number 1 and unchanged on down this week, as East Nashville remains in second, Dyersburg in third, Meigs County in fourth, and Gatlinburg-Pittman at number 5. Notable, White House Heritage got 4 votes this week. They are on the outside looking into the top 10. Class 2A, it's Riverside and Milan, your top 2 teams, in a tie for first place, meaning third-place honors will fall to the East Robertson Indians, who had 2 first-place votes. York Institute and Marion County round out the top 5, with Westmoreland receiving a couple looks as well. Look at them to crack the top 10 here soon. In 1A, South Pitt takes the top spot with 13 first-place votes. Dresden still making noise in second place with 5 first-place votes. Coalfield, Moore County, and McKenzie will round out their top 5. In Division 2, top spots went to Friendship Christian, Franklin Road Academy, and McCallie. Class 4A saw some movement after Region 4 started to move each other around last week. Number 1 overall this week, Pearl Cone with 15 first-place votes. Number 2, Upperman with
with one first place vote. They're in Region 4. Elizabethton, one first place vote. They're in Region 1. Greenville, interesting. They dropped down from number 2 to number 4. One first place vote, and it's probably because they were scared of Alcoa. Number 5, Hardin County. Number 6, Stone Memorial. Number 7, Haywood County. Number 8, Crockett County. Number 9, Red Bank. Number 10, Macon County. Receiving votes just on the outside, Anderson County, Loudoun, Marshall County, Obion, Carter, and Gibbs. Still 3 across the top 10 coming out of Region 4. With Max Preps, we're looking at the tops of the tops in terms of records, points, and defense. Elizabethton is your best bang of the buck right now. 175 points scored in the first few weeks, only giving up 34. Macon County is pitching their best games as well, with only 30 total points that have been given up. That's the best in class right now. Interesting enough, White House sits next to them, only giving up 31 total points so far. Around the state, some big matchups to keep an eye on, courtesy of the Tennessean. And you know, speaking of 4A and Region 4, you got White County sitting at 2-2. They are at number 2 in 4A. Upperman, who is 4-0. That's a big matchup. Tom Krieger says, good luck slowing down Upperman's rushing attack. Ethan Falk ran for 214 yards, 3 touchdowns in last week's win over Livingston Academy. And White County has given up 70 points in its last 2 games. However, the Warriors have their own speed threat in Trip Pinion, who has already run for 1,003 yards in 4 games with 15 scores already to his name. He ran for 1605 last year. Oh, he's only a junior. Other big games, Green Hill at Lebanon. Lebanon's defense has been strong the past 2 weeks, holding Warren County and Cookeville to a combined 20 points. It faces a challenge this week in Green Hill, which is averaging 37.2 points per game. The Hawks are on a path for 3rd straight playoff appearance and only the program's 4th year of existence. Consistency has been the key. Green Hill is 9-1 in September since 2021. A win here surely will have Green Hill being acknowledged. And finally, the brand new number 1 McCallie, they're 4-0. They're at Brentwood Academy sitting at 1-3. They're playing on ESPNU tonight. Brentwood Academy gets a chance to prove its worth on national television with their 5-star quarterback in George McIntyre getting a spotlight to showcase his talents. McCallie could argue its case as the best high school football team in Tennessee, and Brentwood Academy's slide they are on may be too steep for it to climb out. What's going on around the county tonight? Joe Burns, they are hosting East Robertson. East Robertson at 4-0. Isaiah Groves last week had 19 carries or 241 yards and 4 touchdowns. Elijah Groves caught 3 balls for 73 yards and had 6 tackles. East sits atop the small class rankings at number 1 in the Tennessean. White House Heritage, they're at Forest tonight. Springfield is at Centennial. Last week, C.J. Cobbin scored an offensive touchdown and a special teams touchdown in that 34-33 win over Station Camp. Returned a kickoff as well, 98 yards. He also had 2 interceptions on defense. He finished with 259 all-purpose yards. Around the rest of the region tonight, Creekwood, they're hosting Whites Creek. Montgomery Central is hosting Pearl Combe. Of course, your final region game on tap tonight, White House at 4-0 is hosting Marshall County at 3-1. That will be a very important game. And folks, that will do it for Working the Polls this week. And now it's time for this week's Briar Beat. Greenbrier volleyball over the last week, they took the court on Tuesday versus Liberty Creek, falling in straight sets to their District 11 AA opponent. It was their lone game of the week. They took a road trip to Bowling Green last Saturday in a losing effort against a stout competition in Warren East and Greenwood. They are back in action on Tuesday night hosting the White Creek Cobras, where they picked up their 3rd win of the season. Greenbrier, now with a couple wins in the region, they currently sit in 4th place in the District 11 AA standings, trailing White House Heritage, Liberty Creek, and White House. They were matching up with the Lady Devils at press time tonight. Lady Cats Soccer had a couple games last week, losing to Macon County and Liberty Creek. At press time, they were also up at Station Camp, taking on Station Camp. The Lady Cats are home for a 2-game homestand next week, Tuesday the 19th versus White House, and Thursday the 21st, taking on Harpeth for senior night at the City Park Fields. Maddie Liana now sits at 5th in the state with their number of saves, 87. Emily Shelter now averaging right at 1 assist per game. The GHS golf team competed this week in a district match also versus Station Camp High School and Green Hill High Schools to complete their regular season schedule. The Bobcats finished once again with the 2 best individual scores of the entire match, with Greenbrier senior Nathan Meals shooting a season-best round score of 67 and 3 under par. And junior Carter Stroop finished second best with a round of 76. The JHS golf team will enter their postseason this Tuesday, 9/19, with an 8 a.m. start for the district tournament at Country Hills Golf Course in Hendersonville. Coach Jay wants to express just how proud of Nate at Voice of Cats TN. At Voice of Cats TN. Thank you for joining us here. You have reached the landing page for TOTC Live and the Voice of the Bobcats. Located just north of Nashville, Tennessee, at the highest point between Louisville, Kentucky, and Nashville, Greenbrier High School has recently celebrated its 100th year of existence, and along with that, a long history of success on and off the field. For more information about Greenbrier High School and all that they offer to the community, be sure to visit ghs.rcstn.net. Greenbrier High School is an official partner school of the NFHS. That's the National Federation of State High School Associations, who are the educational body of most high school athletics in the nation and in the state of Tennessee. As a member of the NFHS and the TSSAA